Hey guys, my video today is my top 10 takeaways from losing 50 pounds. So this last year I lost 50 pounds. Even though my goal was 83, I'm still pretty happy with hitting that 50 pounds this year. I learned a lot of lessons along the way. There are a ton of up and downs. I can't say it was linear by any stretch of the imagination. And again, that 83-pound goal was what I set out to do. And even though I did achieve 50, I'm still a little mad at myself for not hitting that 83 because there could have been more discipline throughout. But here are my takeaways from the 50 pounds I did lose this year, and I'm pretty excited with being able to say that I lost 50 pounds this year. So, first of all, first a little bit of my background. I have lost weight up and down a ton in my life, okay? So it's not just this year is my first time of losing weight. I've lost weight many times, 50 pounds here, 60 pounds up, 50 pounds down, all throughout my life. 32 years of it, I've been really dealing with weight loss issues since I was 8 years old. So even though that kind of sucks that for me that I've had that, it's pretty awesome for you guys because I've learned so much about it. So the first one that really comes down to is a process of mastery. So, and that idea is like, I've been mastering this since I was 8 years old, really. I've been working on different ways to lose weight a whole part of my life. I mean, it's really why I got in the fitness industry because I always had trouble with weight. So every magic bullet I tried, every way I tried to cheat the process and try to get to the end as fast as possible, it never worked. I might have lost 20 pounds. Sometimes I've lost 60 pounds on different diets. And it just came back every single time. That's really because I never mastered the process of habits, getting better day after day after day. I was always trying to get to the end result so fast and try to get there so quickly that I didn't really worry what got in the way. So this time I really learned a lot during this process of just taking it step by step, day by day. Every time I had to struggle, pick myself back up, try again, correct, autocorrect, correct. Mastery. Mastery is that step-by-step process, day after day, beating on your craft. And this is my craft for the last year. I've put so much time, dedication, and effort into this. It was by no means easy for me. It was very tough. So again, the first takeaway from this year is it's a process of mastery. Second takeaway is creating a plan for obstacles. If you're like me, you have a ton of obstacles in your life. And I actually probably have less obstacles than the average person. I'm not married, I don't have kids, so I don't have those obstacles to begin with. But I do run multiple businesses. Both are 7.5 hours apart, so that definitely takes a lot of time and energy to be able to manage those. I have a lot of clients and I have a lot of people that I take care of. So making sure that those obstacles get in the way. I do a lot of travel. I travel at least one time a month, sometimes 3 times in a month. So that definitely keeps me busy too. So the obstacles that I run into are a lot like everybody else, traveling. With traveling, I'm a horrible traveler. I'm bad at eating crap while I drive. So I've had to put little plans in place. So one of the plans I put in place, as an example, would be I'm not going to eat food in the car. I don't allow food to be in reach within the car. This makes it so that I wouldn't take in a ton of extra calories. I have a tendency to love to eat candy while I'm traveling, so I took that obstacle out of the way. Other obstacles would be like holidays, right? Planning for the holidays, making sure that I know exactly what I'm going to do when I get there. Now, how many times does it work out? Right now, not so many, I'll be honest. A lot of times I have these awesome plans and they fall through. It's on me. I didn't stay dedicated and disciplined to the plan, but throughout the year, I kept getting better and better at planning. I even had certain trips where I never made any mistakes. And then I had other trips where it really blew up my face, but I never stopped trying to create a new plan and be successful at that plan. So always, every time you have an obstacle or you know an obstacle is coming up, let's create a plan and start planning for those and making sure that they're no longer excuses anymore. We have something to go in with. Executing the plan. So on executing the plan, this is where I did awesome at times and I struggled a ton at other times. I am an awesome planner. I make great plans. I come up with these awesome strategies. I do it for tons of our clients as well. So I'm really good at planning. Executing those plans is another thing. I get in my own head. My mind gets in the way a ton. I start to think I need that brownie. I need that. I have no desires for it. No need for sure. Definitely a want in that category. But it does. And so executing that plan is so important. The plans I executed, I felt amazing about them, right? I'd have a weekend where I'd go back to my home in Iowa to see my parents, execute that plan perfect. I'd be measuring my foods, everything like that. I felt great after those weekends. Other times when I went home, I decided, okay, I'm going to kind of wing it. Oh man, those are horrible weekends, right? I didn't feel very good after them. I didn't feel good about myself after either. So definitely, if you have a plan, execute the plan. Make sure you make the plan first and then just dial it in. Fat loss is not linear is going to be number 4. All right. I mean, everybody thinks fat loss, it's just going to happen, right? I'm just going to lose 5 pounds, then I'm going to lose another 5 pounds, I'm going to lose another 5 pounds. Each month it's just going to keep coming off. Realistically, people think it's going to be 10 or 20 pounds in a month. I'm sorry, guys. It doesn't work that way. I've been losing weight for a long time and never does it work that way for me. So some months I'll have, like January I had 15 pounds, and then February I had like 4 pounds, and then 2, and then 6, and then like up and down all the way. Sometimes I gain weight in a month, right? Those months can be a little depressing, I'm not gonna lie, but it is the process. It's part of the process. So understand that this is not linear by any stretch of the imagination. Take your time. It's a process over a long period of time. You know, if it took you 10 years to put on 20 pounds, give it 6 months to take it off. If it took you 10 years to put on 60 pounds, let's give it a year and a half to take it off, right? My 83 pounds in a year, and I didn't give myself a reasonable enough goal, right? That was definitely a stretch goal. I would have had to push really hard to be perfect, but I had a lot of lessons to learn along the way. So 50 pounds is what I was going to lose regardless, because I learned throughout the process of it. But it's not a linear process. If I would just drop 10 pounds each month, it would have been really easy. But that just wasn't going to happen. So remember, fat loss is not linear. Going on to number 5. Man, this one really caught me by surprise. I talk to my clients a lot about it, but number 5 is water is so important. I preach water to our clients for sure. I drink a ton of water, but what I kept on realizing is every single time that I would have these binges, I would realize like I had stopped drinking water the day before, and during that day I had not drank much water at all. So that really hit me by a blind side. I was like, holy crap, water is so physically important to me, for sure. And I would say to everybody it's really important. But I struggle so much with moments when I start to binge, I don't drink water at all. I switch over to sodas or different things like that, or I'm just not drinking, period. So I definitely had to concentrate on that consistently, of like, okay, every time I'm having one of those moments, like, do I need some water? Let's drink some water first. So I've put some plans in place. Every time I'm having one of those binge feelings, I'm gonna have some water instead. Hammer that for a little bit. I do have 2 glasses of water before I start every meal in the morning, and 2 glasses of water before the meal at lunch too, to really force myself to figure out, am I needing water to continue to eat, or is it just that I'm thirsty, parched? So water is so important. Number 6, keep adjusting and never quit. This is the thing I'm probably the most proud of myself for this year, is a lot of times I would lose, if I lost, let's say 40 pounds in a year, I lost 40 pounds, and I would get to that point and I'd push so hard to get there and then just stop, right? I would give up, or a huge obstacle would hit me and I would just say screw it, right? I've put all my effort in and I'm done. I have nothing left. This year I didn't let that happen. Every single time I would hit an obstacle, adjust. And I'll be honest, I probably adjusted every single day throughout the last 365 days. Every single day there was something that popped in that I had to make an adjustment for. Was I always perfect adjustment? No. I mean, I would have binges where I'd go 3 days and I could not be in control of my food, but I would adjust the next day and get back on track. Whereas before it would just be like, okay, I've ruined it. I've gained 10 pounds back. I'm done with this. I didn't this time. I just kept adjusting. You got to keep adjusting every single day. I mean, literally today before this, I've had to adjust twice today because my calorie intake is a little bit low for a meal that I'm having tonight. So I've had to adjust my energy levels twice with making sure that I have sugars or fruits at different times to make sure that I don't have issues tonight. So those are things I'm always adjusting, auto-correcting, working on these things. And that's something that's going to happen for a lifetime for me. No matter what, fat loss is a journey for me for the rest of my life. And when I get to the fittest level I want to get to, I know I'm going to have to be patient. I'm going to have to work with myself, and I have to keep adjusting when I'm at that process, at that point. So remember, it's something that you got to keep adjusting for, and no matter what, never quit. I mean, I'd have to say since 8 years old, I never quit on this. Even though I've been up and down a ton, I just keep working at it. Time after time, I find a new solution. I keep working, changing it up. So just keep changing up. There will be setbacks is number 7, right? There will be setbacks. Deal with it. That's what number 7 is. And that's how I tell myself too, after that keep adjusting and never quit idea. No matter how much I didn't want to screw up, I screwed up a ton, right? I think the longest streak I ever had with what I wouldn't call a setback was 21 days. Out of 365 days, I only went 21 days straight where I didn't have a setback. Otherwise, realistically, probably 5 days is what I was averaging. 5 days I'd be really, really awesome. Then 2 days I would screw up, or 1 day I would screw up and I have to reset. So there are going to be setbacks. You're going to have plans that just go awry. They just got really screwed up, and you just have those moments. And that's going to happen probably for the rest of my life. I hope I can get better and better at the setbacks, but realistically, I'm probably going to run into these setbacks at least monthly, if not weekly, forever. And I have to keep working on the adjusting to that and never quitting on that idea, and then making sure that I know they're going to happen. Like, just they're obstacles. Deal with them. So, all right, number 8. It's really not a food issue. And I've known this for a while. I've known that like a lot of the stuff that I deal with, why I eat my sweets and why I have sugar issues, sugars are my biggest issue. Why I have those is probably not, it's not really a food thing. It's an emotional thing. I would consider myself not a very stressed out person, but I have a lot of stressors in my life that I don't realize are stressors, right? My business is a stress. Growing that, trying to improve that. Being able to see my family enough is a stress. I don't get to see them as much. I'm 7.5 hours away from them. So there's other stresses. Dating life. Dating as a single guy is not the easiest thing in the world. So that's definitely a stress in my life. Stress to be perfect, to be honest. I deal with that a lot. Like I'm a strength coach. I'm a personal trainer, right? I deal with fitness all day, every day. I help people and help them push towards their goals. So when I'm not achieving my goals, that is stressful. When I'm sitting there having a binge and I've been telling people not to have binges and teaching them not to have them, I'm like, I know the exact thing to do. I know what to do. Why the hell am I not getting this done? That's not a food issue. That's an emotional issue. It's not the food that's doing it. So, I mean, there are definitely things with food. Sugars definitely are addiction for me, but it's really not a food issue. It's an emotional issue. It's a psychological issue. It's a mindset issue that I have to continue to work at. It's just switching up foods. All of a sudden going to vegetables is not going to change the game for me. They're going to help. They're going to improve the process, but changing the game is being able to change my mindset, and all the things I just talked about for the last 7 steps were a lot of mindset-based things, and I need to keep working on those things and just keep getting better and better at those. Number 9, it is hard. Gosh, this one, it's freaking hard. Like anybody that tells you that weight loss is easy, unfortunately, is going to put that weight right back on. I've done this enough times to say like it's not easy. It will never be easy. Real weight loss and maintainable, sustainable weight loss is not easy. You have to uproot your life. You have to change things. It's not just going to all of a sudden be like, I want to lose 20 pounds. Great. Like, cool. We're going to lose 20 pounds. Show up at the gym twice a week. No, you have to put in the work. I mean, there are times this summer where I was putting 7 days of training in a row. Not the healthiest thing in the world, but I had to overcome some obstacles and some desires that I was having. So I used training as a tool for that. So those workouts are hard. Eating, get my macronutrients, dialing that in. So that's food tracking every single day. I had to get to a point where I had to track food every day because for me, that analytically made sense in my brain to be able to know exactly what was going in and out of my body. That's not for everybody, but for me, it worked out great. But the process is so damn hard. And I don't want to scare you off from doing that. I'm just saying that you're going to run into obstacles. You're going to run into things that are going to get in your way. Quitting on those, right? Quit doing it. Commit to not quit, right? That idea, like, let's not quit on these things. It's going to be hard, and it's going to be hard regardless. It's hard to look in the mirror when you don't look the way you want to be, right? That's hard. So why not deal with the pain that comes with losing weight? That's at least in the end result, mentally you'll start to get better and healthier. And the last one, and this is my big takeaway. I mean, I have a lot of big takeaways from this year, and my big takeaway for you guys, though, is to be honest, all that work I put in, it was worth it. I mean, I feel great being 50 pounds lighter. My back, I have a ton of back issues, way less pain in my back because of that. I just have less weight I'm carrying. I'm able to do obstacle races now, easier than I used to. I've always been able to do them. I haven't had a lot of physical limitations in my life, but I've always had to deal with carrying way more weight than the average person does. So, I got up to 283 pounds. Well, I'm running races at 220, now running at 283 is a huge difference. This year, I'll hopefully, when I get back to obstacle course racing, I'll be down in the 220s, 210s again. That would be awesome to be able to run those. It's so worth it for that. For looking in the mirror, I'll be honest, that body staring back at me feels much better, right? I mean, we all do this to look better naked. Right? That's why we do it. Like, you want to look better in the mirror. You want to look better for yourself and for others as well. Like that's a double thing going on there, right? So all this whole hard work, the macro tracking, the hard workouts, the consistently adjusting, like it really, really is worth it because it changes psychologically. My discipline throughout this year got so much better. There's so many other things in my life and aspects of my life that improved because I was working daily on adjusting, auto-correcting. I was making sure I was dealing with the problems that were coming in my life. That helps out in all those aspects. So that's kind of like my long spiel about the 10 takeaways I had from this awesome year of 50 pounds weight loss. Next year, my goal is to lose 33, and I'm going to come out with some more of what helped me achieve those goals when I get there. But the takeaways I want you to take away from this whole thing is it's a process, right? It's a fat loss process. It takes time to get there. It's not going to happen overnight, no matter what your weight is. If you only have 10 pounds to lose, it's not happening overnight. If you have 200 pounds to lose, it's going to take a couple years to get there. Anybody that does it in a short period of time, unfortunately, that weight comes back in a pretty quick amount of time. So let's take this process, take your time, keep working on it, keep grinding on it. I say beating on my craft is what I think of it as. Like, it's something that I'm working on my body, for myself, for me personally. It's my personal hobby, right? My personal hobby is weight loss for me, to make sure that I'm achieving those things. And someday I hope to have other hobbies, right? So that my extra hours aren't going towards working out or nutrition planning, all that kind of stuff. I can spend those extra hours doing other things. But right now I can't do those because I have specific goals, and these goals are so important. They have my hair on fire, right? I'm just thinking about them all the time. And I know a lot of you guys are. You think about it all the time. So it's time to start putting that plan into action. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I'm going to try to talk a lot more about my issues and things that I've worked through this year. I think it's very helpful for a lot of my clients that have seen a lot of the things I've struggled with, and to give them feedback on those, as well as all you guys out there that might be struggling with these things. I'm an expert at this, to be honest. I'm an expert at fat loss, but I struggle with it a ton because it's more than just knowledge. It's about putting into action and the discipline to follow through with it, right? So guys, have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great 2019.